Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a reading on Ed and Lorraine Warren. Now, may their souls rest in peace. I know a lot of people have been asking for this video for quite some time, and I believe in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Lorraine passed away, but Ed passed away a couple years ago as well. So this is a video that I've actually been holding off on because I didn't want to really do it. I wanted their souls to transition, well, especially her soul, because I can connect a lot stronger to Lorraine for whatever reason, maybe because she was a medium at one point. So a lot of people want to know whether or not I believe, like, were they truly paranormal investigators? Like, were they truly real, or did they kind of use their abilities or their background to become Hollywood famous and basically make money off of this, spirits and stuff like that? Was there greed? When I get into them as a whole, as a collective, the duo, Ed and Lorraine Warren, I really feel like they were very genuine and very pure from the way that they were coming from. A lot of people may not agree with me. I fully understand, but I feel like they were very, very genuine. I feel like there was a great interest more with Ed to explore the paranormal and kind of get into the darker things like collecting and looking at certain haunted places with demonic cases, a lot of demonology, a lot of those kind of cases and whatnot. I do believe that he was possessed at one time, regardless if this has been said or not. I really do believe that he was. When I tune in, I feel like there was definitely a lot of that going on. I don't believe that their life was super perfect as it was depicted in the the movies that we've seen, blasted in theaters, like The Conjuring and Annabelle and other movies out there. I don't feel like their life was perfect at all. I do feel like Ed had a darker period, and he did have a temper and things, even though he was a man of Christian background or rooted in faith. I do feel like they both had their own issues, and a lot of them, and I do feel like he was very influenced by demonic things that may have jumped him or followed him back home. So I honestly believe that a lot of his health issues were actually opened and got progressively worse before his passing, and it was due to the demonic energy. The thing is that when you open doorways and when you start doing paranormal investigations that deal specifically with the demonic, they hold on to your energy signature, and even though you banish them from a place, it does not mean that they go back to hell. Apparently, like a lot of people think, a lot of demonic entities, etc., they can actually survive in different areas. So you banish them from one home, they'll go to a different place, and they'll hang around that place. And I feel like they actually followed Ed and Lorraine Warren home. And in many cases, I feel like Lorraine knew this, and these are things that they would have probably never discussed on camera. But I do feel like he had bad nightmares. He would have had a lot of heart issues, health issues that were contributed from the negative entities that were open in and let in. I don't feel like there was doorways closed all the time, specifically with Ed, since he was also spiritually very open. He saw things that probably scared him. I don't feel like since he didn't have like the mediumship gift like Lorraine did, that he actually had more. He was more of the one that they remembered, that these darker things remembered and targeted the most. I do feel in many ways, and I do see that he is at peace now, but I do feel like there was a bunch of people when he was crossing over, a lot of these family members that he had that were on the other side ready to bring him in. But there was also on the other side, I kept seeing, like, what I kept seeing visions of was two actual doorways. There was the doorway to heaven and the doorway to the other part that is not heaven. That is kind of like the waiting. Some people call it purgatory. It's not hell, but it's a place where demons lurk, and they were waiting for his soul as well. So there was like a big war, I feel like, when his soul left his physical body and was transitioning to spirit, because the dark ones really wanted claim on Ed's soul. But they didn't get the pleasure of doing that. I feel like he had a lot of angelic protection and things like that. But I do feel like at some point that they were not happy. Ed and Lorraine were not happy with what Hollywood tried to do and the story that they tried to portray. Things like in the movies that have come out about them, based on their real life, I feel like is not 100% accurate. It's more of what would sell. But I do feel like at least Lorraine was very, very genuine. I do feel like Ed definitely did love her, but I don't know if at some point that he would have had an affair, because that comes in very strongly, and it's something that I probably it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people that know them. They were well respected in the community themselves, spiritual community. But like I said, he was not. No one is perfect. I don't feel like Ed was entirely perfect. And anything that he would have been involved in that was a lot darker, or that led him to do darker things, would have been a result of his of the things that he opened up, the doorways, the demonic. Um, with Lorraine, I do feel like she was a very gentle soul. She genuinely did care about people, and she wanted to help those cases that were afflicted, but I feel like she wished that she could do more. On some level, even though she seemed very, very brave, I actually feel like she held on to a lot of fear. There was definitely a lot of fear for the things that she saw that she didn't want to see again. So when you see like movies like The Conjuring or Annabelle, like things like that, there is a lot of accuracy to that part about her. There was this vulnerability, this inner childlike quality that Lorraine had, and I feel like that never abandoned her. I do feel like she had strong spiritual faith in God. However, that was not enough to prevent any kind of attacks. The more spiritually rooted you are, the more that you believe in God, or and have faith in God, the more that you're going to be attacked, and the demonic is going to come towards you. I feel like she was riddled with nightmares, things like darker things that visit her in her dreams. I do feel like she was like physically attacked many times as well. So that is true. I'm just talking about things that people wouldn't know, or people speculated on because of what was shown on TV, whether or not it was real or true. I do feel like she was really jumped as well. There was things that got into her that these would be demons. And I do feel like she was definitely targeted. But she was stronger than Ed when it came to closing doors, because she knew how to close doors. She knew how to close them and not reopen them. With Ed, again, I feel like he was a little bit more curious. And sometimes that curiosity is all it takes for them to, when I say them, I mean demons, to get the best of you and to hurt you in some kind of way. Because they're very calculative in the way that they do that. But I do feel like the both of them are together and they are at peace. I do feel like they are working right now on the other side, helping a lot of people that are here, carrying out their work and doing the things that they are doing now. But I do hear Lorraine say that be very careful. Like, she's giving messages out to people who are doing this, through me, of course, who are out in the paranormal field, who are investigating, to be very, very careful, because the doors that you can that you can open sometimes can never be closed. And if you do close them, it's temporary. So she's very much about that. She's talking about that there's going to be another movie or something coming out still of them, or depicting their work, her work, and Ed's work. So I don't know if there's like a remake or some other kind of movie or a show that's going to be coming out based on them, but there's definitely going to be something coming out still about them. They are icons, they're legends. They were the first, like, well, not one of the first, but they were like pioneers in the spiritual community to do this, in a time where, we didn't see a lot of shows, or, not shows, but like movies or interviews and things of that nature. They kind of paved the way a lot in the paranormal world. I do feel like anything that, any objects that they would have collected that anybody else has, like the Annabelle doll, or just like any other objects that were haunted, I do feel like those people that would have them are running in danger, and they can't see the magnitude and stuff that is going on. I also feel like Lorraine, she's telling me that she was worried about someone who was much younger, that was a male here in the physical world, because of his way of being. I don't know if she met this person Part of me wants to say that it feels like she's talking about Zach Bagans. I don't feel like she's talking about Ryan, even though, what was his name? The one from Paranormal State, he was like Ryan Buell or whatever. I don't feel like it's him. I think it's more of Zach Bagans. I don't know why, but she is coming very, very much through, and she did show me, again, the Ghost Adventures, and she's showing me Zach. So I don't know if they met at one time, which would make sense if she knew about him or she knows about him from the spirit world. And I feel like he may actually have felt her or gotten a message or thought of her at some point, lately. But anytime that he would have been thinking of her, it is her soul that's kind of giving him a warning to be very careful, because again, Zach, has been a pioneer himself in the paranormal world and has done a lot of good work in exposing the truth, and showing the world a lot of things that are going on. But again, there's a lot of danger in doing so, and I know that he's gone through his own personal experiences, whatnot. But going back to Ed and Lorraine Warren, they really did deal with a lot of things that were very, very real and not hyped up at all. I also feel like there was something about a barn. I don't know what it is with the barn, but they keep showing me like a countryside with the barn, and the barn, someone would have committed crimes in the barn. I don't know what this is all about, but it's somewhere close to either where they lived or a place that they investigated where there's still activity. And I don't know, only the people, I guess, that they know, that the cases that they worked, etc. But there is, it feels like this is East Coast, like Boston, I don't know, somewhere around that area. But it is northeast, on the East Coast. And again, they just make me feel like I get chills when I tune into that barn. I feel like it is not a red on the outside, but rather like a wooden barn, and it is like very tall, and I see a lot of structures, and I see a windmill on the property as well. So there's definitely, that is an area for people to be very, very careful of as well. So, I just get they were genuine. I don't feel like they were out to maybe make money. Just, they weren't doing things for the money. I really feel like they were really invested and believed in the paranormal, and that's just what I see. Again, other people may not agree with that, but that's what I get with that. I also feel like there was some connection to the witch trials in Salem, Massachusetts. I don't know if Ed and Lorraine ever went out there or did any investigations. They keep showing me, which will lead me to the next reading that I'll be doing soon, picking up on the Salem witch trials, which is something that I should have done a long time ago, but I kind of deviated away from that, but I'll be covering that again. So I hope you enjoyed this reading on the insights that I was able to get from her soul, everything, the messages that she has, and just who they were as a whole. Just remember them as that power duo, because they still are doing well on the other side, and they are reunited and happy, okay? So much love and light and blessings to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.